Welcome. Welcome to week 13 of The Power in Your Minds. I am so grateful to be with you again today. I'd like to share a short story with you. Yesterday, I was with one of my colleagues and we were in a meeting, and I started to feel tense. In that moment of that feeling tense, it was in my body, it was in my mind, I had that thought of, oh no, a familiar feeling of the conversation spiraling into ineffective communication. And I felt, oh, what do I do? And in that moment, something had seeped into me from perception over the last few weeks that gave me access to something new. Rather than continuing to try to sort through what the tension was about or talking about it, I took a moment. I took a breath. And I asked my colleague, can I share something with you? After receiving permission, I proceeded to share my immense gratitude for them and the greatness that I see in them, acknowledging the presence, the leadership, how much they're holding, and the phenomenal presence they are for me and for others in our work together. And in that acknowledgement, everything shifted. An hour later, we finished an extraordinarily effective and harmonious and co-creative meeting that could have spiraled into somewhere completely different. Now, it's in these small, seemingly small occurrences that we start to see what's happening for us in this course. And the more that we acknowledge them, the more that we bring our awareness to them, the more that we appreciate them, the more that we move into this momentum of transformation. And so I invite us in this moment to look for ourselves. What are those small moments when we're perceiving ourselves differently? We're perceiving others differently. We're engaging differently with a friend or a colleague or ourselves. And acknowledge that. Appreciate that. Support our own momentum of transformation and development. Now, this week we have an opportunity to anchor and go even deeper with the power of perception. Now, you could ask, why would Ma choose for us to spend 5 weeks on perception? You may recall, Ma shared that our reality is created by our perception. Or another way to say that is, our perception creates our reality. It really is that simple. And so let's take a moment and recap what are the different ways that we've learned to engage with and activate this power of perception. It begins with gratitude, the power of gratitude, living with that attitude of grace. Gratitude can shift everything. It can melt everything. Another practice, pausing. Interrupting that continuous flow of our programmed way of perceiving things, resetting and looking at the world anew. Another practice is to record ourselves speaking and then listen to that recording. Listen to it as if we would listen to a friend, someone that we love and care about, and notice how our perception of that which we shared in the recording can completely shift. For me, this dissolved a huge amount of charge around an issue and gave me a whole new access to seeing and engaging with it. Another one is taking an object, maybe it's a cushion or a chair, it could even be a plant, and moving around that object, looking at it from different angles. And imagining that object as someone in our lives, a situation, could even be ourselves. And notice what happens as we look and perceive from different angles. We also have the practice of shifting, raising our frequency. You know, the vibration that we're currently at is the vibration that we're seeing in the world. So if we take a few breaths, if we practice that pranayama, that intense breath work, the type of breath, or we take a moment in meditation, we take a moment in nature, all of these can help raise our frequency and give us a new access to perceiving ourselves and the world. We can also practice through seeing the world through others' eyes. What does the world look like through Ma's eyes? How would Ma perceive that situation? How would another master perceive whatever it is that's happening in our lives, within us, or even ourselves. How does Ma see us? Can we look at ourselves that way? Also, this practice of acknowledging the greatness in ourselves and acknowledging the greatness in the other. And notice what happens to our perception then. Now, these are just a few of the ways that we have learned to engage with and activate our perception. And I invite us to look at it as perception is not something that we kind of take off the shelf. We say, okay, I'm going to use my perception now, and then I'm going to put it back and go on with our lives. No, perception is something that is we're always using our perception. The question is, are we doing it intentionally, consciously, or are we unconsciously allowing the perception that we've received from others, our parents, our environment, our school, our culture, to run the ship for us, and using that perception unconsciously our way of perceiving the world? So our game as we anchor and we deepen in perception is to bring more awareness, bring more intentionality, and bring more choice and decision. Conscious perception. I'm so grateful to be with you together on this journey of discovery, where together we discover the power in our minds. The power in our minds.